Hey, what's happening, y'all? Matt here with another of my guitar videos. I'm actually here with my boss. You've probably heard me talk about the fact that I work for a rhythm band and Silvertone Guitars, Vintage Guitars, as their lead guitar QC tech. And this is my boss and head of product development, Rick Taylor. Want to kind of introduce yourself a little
bit?
Hello,
Matt. Yeah, I'm the product manager for Silvertone Guitars, and I had an idea of letting Matt go wild with one of our guitars and see how many different wiring positions that we could possibly stuff into a guitar. And he's come up with some really killer stuff that we're going to demonstrate. I think you're going to really enjoy this.
Yeah, so if you're a follower of my channel, then you know one of my hobbies is to dive into guitars and just do as much crazy stuff as I can with them. You've seen the Harley Benton mod video. You've seen the Ibanez S series with the however 49 different pickup combinations. I brought them in to show these guys. We've had a blast with those. So this is indeed the newest line.
Yeah, it's the Mattenstein, I call it. This is the new Mattenstein model, Silvertone.
So, and if you're not familiar with my work, I operate a YouTube channel and an LLC for Audio Mutt Studios, where I do guitar tech work and guitar mods and publish videos of all my crazy shenanigans, so that I have proof that I've done cool things. But is there anything else we need to talk about this, or are we just ready to dive into a guitar?
Let's dive into it.
You silly mutt. And so this is the guitar. This is a Silvertone 1423 RSFB. It's actually a pretty interesting instrument, and I've always kind of had a thought with its particular wiring scheme and with them all being easily accessible through the front panel. You know, you've got 5 pots and a 3-way switch. You could do some interesting stuff with this. And there was some stuff with the original 1423 where it's set up where that middle position is labeled blender.
Yep.
But it functions as a blender, but does something a little different.
Yeah, tell us what it does, because we finally figured it out with the high pass and low pass filters, right?
Right.
Yeah.
So in the blender position, it actually bypasses your volume and tone controls for both pickups. Routes, all you have is this little potentiometer here, but it's got one capacitor wired in series on the switch itself to function as a high-pass filter, and then it goes to your rotary switch, which is basically like your normal tone knob, a low-pass filter. So as you're rolling back and forth with this, it's blending a little bit because it's shunting both pickups into that, but it's more of an EQ shift thing where you're rolling off highs, rolling off lows, doing different stuff.
It kind of goes into wah territory a little bit.
Yeah, it's cool and it's interesting, but my thought was I'm a studio guy, so I want a little bit more granular control.
Yeah.
So the idea I had is, what if we took that capacitor out of the switch and we moved that to this rotary switch so that then we have manual control over our high pass, just like you have with your tone controls where you're rolling off those high ends. Now we've got control of our low frequency roll off, so we can control how we're doing our highs. So that was the first idea that I had about setting that up. But then in order to make that work, I didn't want to lose control over my volume and tone knobs back here. I wanted to retain that. So I did more of a single cut wiring where I routed my pickups to here and then to the switch instead of switch to controls.
Oh, gotcha.
So that allows me to retain control over my volume and tones on independent pickups and thereby create a blend of them instead of all that just going bye-bye.
Right.
Right? So that's all that part of it. And then, because I am me, decided to do a bunch of push-pulls. And it's been a while since I looked on this, so I've got to kind of look.
I see you've got crib notes there.
Yes, I labeled everything.
Cheat sheet.
So for my tone controls, I did push-pulls that change our pickups between wired in series and wired in parallel. So I know tone tap or not tone tap, but coil tap and coil splits are very popular. I like the series parallel switch a little bit better.
Yeah, because the parallel will sound almost like a single coil.
Right.
Yeah,
but
they're still noiseless.
Right, they're still noiseless, and you don't lose the positioning. Like if you're tapping a coil, you have to pick one, and you're sacrificing the tonal position of the other.
Yeah.
If you're doing parallel, you're still getting both coils, and so the pickup is positioned like it's intended to be for that instrument.
Yeah.
So that's what I wanted to do there.
And you've got those on each of the tone controls,
right.
Those push-pulls. So one for the neck, one for the bridge. That's bridge, that's neck, right?
Correctly.
Gotcha.
And so then you can do that independently. So if you
want,
right. You know, I want the humbucker sound in my bridge, but I want a single coil tone in my neck. Just pop that out. And so now you've got independent control. For the push-pulls on the volume, I did treble bleeds. So that is a capacitor paired with the resistor wired into the pot so that as you roll back your volume, you don't experience that high frequency loss that you normally get with a normal tone potentiometer. So that just helps you to maintain some brightness and clarity as you're rolling back. But a lot of people don't like that. Some people like to experience that high frequency drop off as they start rolling their volume back.
Yeah.
So that's where there's a push-pull to disengage it.
So when it's up, it's normal, and when it's down, it engages the treble bleed.
Correct.
Gotcha.
And then the last push-pull that I put into this is on my variable high-pass filter here, is a phase flip for the neck.
You couldn't have just left one pot?
No.
No. Okay. All right. Just checking.
Have you not watched my channel?
Yes, I'm getting an education here. Couldn't leave well enough alone.
Never.
So the last one, it does it flips the phase?
Correct. Flips the phase of that neck pickup.
So then you can get the kind of Peter Green thing?
Mm-hmm.
Fantastic.
Exactly. Yeah. So I guess let's just dive into some tones, and let's start with our bridge pickup. So we'll just have everything down like normal. And these are pretty nice, like Filtertron style pickups. They sound pretty good. Okay, so let's. So if we start rolling on that volume,
all the highs are still there.
All the highs are still there. Yeah. Okay. We pull that up.
Gets mellower and mellower. Yep.
And then we got our series parallel switch. So that's bridge pickup series. So you can just hear there's that little bit of volume drop off.
Yep, in the parallel. And it definitely sounds more single coily, if that's even a word.
Well, and if I can add a little crunch to that. Let's switch back over to our cleans. It's better for a demo. All right, and then, so let's go to our neck pickup. It's a very decent usable tone. All right, now, and that was with our volume rolled back a little bit. There we go, there's some more full sound.
So you've got the treble bleed engaged.
Correct. So maintaining all those sparklies. Now we pull that up and disengage.
You can hear it right away.
Okay, so now let's move on to our series parallel. So we got series.
And then parallel. Usable too as almost like what a lot of guys will buy, a clean boost switch.
Yeah.
You know, you're just getting in and out. You just, if you're taking a solo, you just want a little bit of bump and volume to get over there. You could use that very easily for just that. If you're starting a song with the single coil sound, it's a little thinner. You're in the rhythm position, you know, and then you hit the button, and all of a sudden you got a little bit of boost, a little more mid-range, which will cut through the mix. Yeah, that's very cool.
Yeah, it's all different stuff. Now, the fun really begins once we get into our middle position, because now we got both pickups working together. And we got our usual till we go.
That's the out of phase sound.
Yep.
Yep. Which incidentally sounds really great when played with a slide with some distortion and compression. It's a very killer tone.
Now, and one thing I kind of forgot to talk about a little bit is the rotary high pass filter. So even if we're on our, even on each individual pickup, that's wired as part of the overall circuit. So. Maybe a little bit darker just because of the nature of the wiring, but then as we roll that high pass filter up, it's all that low end, and so even neck pickup. So now you've got more control over your high end, not just your low end, and you can combine that with your tone control. So you've got your high pass and your low pass filter working together. So if I were to roll that all the way back, that'll go back really level. You're really filtering everything else out.
Or you can turn one up and the other down, and then reverse it and let them fight it out.
Yeah, so if we've got our high pass filter rolled all the way up and our tone rolled all the way back on the neck pickup, we switch to the bridge. Now I don't know how useful that tone is for really much of anything.
Right, yeah.
But it's cool that I can do it.
Right.
The opposite. Okay. And then you've got all those combinations when you put it in your middle position. You now can still do the same thing. Okay. So I want to darken up my bridge a little bit. Make sure that my neck is nice and bright. And maybe dial a little bit of a middle position thing on my high pass filter. Put that into out of phase.
Yep.
Back in phase. And then, okay, well, if we roll that neck back a little bit.
Yeah.
Now we're getting more
almost
territory.
telly-ish. Yeah, very much so.
It's with this wiring, it's anything from, you know, and the internet's already good. I already know the internet's gonna tell me I'm doing this wrong because one of the last Silvertone videos I did, I played this riff and the internet told me I was doing it wrong, and I'm a musician and I don't care.
on the bridge position.
Bridge position, series, volume all the way up, and yeah, high pass all the way up.
Gotcha.
I mean, we could darken that up a little bit. Make it a little bit more chunky.
With the crunch there, put it in that out of phase position.
Okay. So if we get a little out of phase.
There it is.
I mean, it's, yeah, let's see, what could we do with that? That we could do, let's see, and that wasn't even changing with series parallel stuff if we wanted to try and dial in that telly tone for real.
Right.
So, like, let's just get a little bit of grit on. Bring that neck back a little bit.
Oh yeah, so now you're blending. You're in the middle and you're blending. The bridge pickup's on full and you've backed off on the neck pickup.
Yep. So that's with bridge pickup on full. I've now switched both pickups into parallel wiring.
Yep. Yeah.
So
And that's a tone you can't get on a telly because there's not two volumes.
yep, it is the Mattenstein. It is
You are
all
a mad
kinds
scientist, Matt.
of weird stuff.
I love it. That
yeah.
was fantastic. Great job.
I mean, it certainly satisfies some of my curiosity about, okay, what can the 1423 do beyond just what it can do out of the factory?
Right.
Because it's an inherently versatile control system.
Yeah.
And especially like these pickups came for conductor wire, which enables all of this stuff to be modified with relatively little investment, right?
Yeah.
The pickups already sounded okay. They're for conductor wire. I didn't have to get a new rotary switch. I just had to get some push-pull pots and
Some caps.
yeah, and some caps, and ready to rock and roll.
So I'm going to assume this took you about 2 hours to conceive of and about 2 weeks to wire up.
I'd say that probably does sound fairly.
That's about right. Yeah. Yeah.
But no, it was a fun project, and I'm glad you turned me loose to
Yeah.
get one of our guitars and do my crazy stuff.
This is the first. It won't be the last.
It's what I like
Yeah.
to hear.
Yep. Well done.
Oh, well, I guess to wrap up, that's been this demonstration of the Mattenstein Silvertone 1423. Thanks again, Rick, for
Yeah,
letting me
my
participate in this, and
Yeah.
for sitting and chatting with me and going over everything. But yeah, it's been awesome. It's a cool guitar. Check it out, and appreciate you. You guys are awesome. Have a good one.